Yo, it's cold. Angifuni ukungasho, but the show must go on. We are going to talk about the players linked to Kaizer Chiefs who are looking more likely like they're not gonna come to Kaizer Chiefs. Although we know Guti, with Kaizer Chiefs' dribbling skills, we might just get dribbled once again. But we'll see what's going on. So we're going to look at the three strikers and one defensive midfielder. Not Usbong Mteto. We've talked about him a lot. Someone else this time around. Hello and welcome to Coast Nation Fan TV. I am Pilo. I am your host. This is where fans meet and talk about Kaizer Chiefs. Amakosi Football Club. It's so cold. I'm standing outside in the cold. I'm gonna ask you to like the video because I'm getting cold because of you. I'm kidding. So let's start by talking about the strikers. So the first one is the one that a lot of people thought was going to go to Orlando Pirates. What am I even saying? What am I talking about? I'm talking about Ashley Cupido. I know Uguti Kaizer Chiefs right now, we're in a position whereby we have signed Uranga Chibabiro, but Uranga Chibabiro is for the now. But we also need to talk about the future, obviously. And this is where someone will say, hey, Mpilo, but there's already Utuba in that position, right? But let's be realistic. Dube will not be played this season as a regular. He's going to be transitioned into the team. But even if he is transitioned into a team, you still need someone who's going to grow alongside him. In fact, you need him to be competing with someone who's like 2 years older than him, so that even by the age they reach their prime, with Ashley Cupido in this case, they are already making each other better. You look at an example of players like Masubuka go Liverpool. I am a Liverpool fan. You have Usala on one wing, you have Umane on the other wing. They were making each other better because they were always competing, trying to score more goals, but they passed each other as well, but they were growing and reaching a premier together. So we have Uranga and we have Utuba. It's not good enough because we always need to have more backup. Because all it takes is for one player to get injured and another player to get a suspension. And then all of a sudden you don't have strikers. You are left what's this thing? Stranded. That's the word that I'm trying to use. But what is holding it, Dilga Ashley Cupido? Because a lot of people thought, hey, Cape Town City has, not Cape Town City, Cape Town Spurs has Uradio Pane, who was playing really well, sorry for that, who's playing really well with Ashley Cupido. So people thought Uradio Pane, who's the Orlando Pirates player, was going to obviously come back to Pirates from loan, and then the other player, Cupido, was also going to come back to Pirates. Seems like that's not the case, and the Pirates are looking at other options of strikers as well, and then Ashley Cupido remains with Cape Town City Spurs, and thus he can come to Chiefs. However, when he was asked back in May about Tuguti, where does he prefer to play next season, this is what he said. He said that he would rather stay at Cape Town City this season, Cape Town Spurs, because he wants to grow. And that's valid, because if you think about it, if they bring him Gui Chiefs right now, what system does Kaizer Chiefs play? They play 4-2-3-1, and 4-2-3-1 only utilizes one striker. And if we take out that striker, the next player in line, as I said, for some reason, the next player will be Ukele Piminyimana, which I don't understand, but it will be him in line, and then because they are like this, they are going to play Utupri probably through the middle, and then after that, Utupri will play as a winger. But if you look at the order that we have up front, Cupido was probably not going to play. Yes, I know he could have fought his way into the starting 11, but at this point, with the pressure that is at Kaizer Chiefs, if you're still trying to win the fans over, and then you are coming to Chiefs, then you might have a problem. So for him to say he wants to be ready first before coming to Kaizer Chiefs, it kind of makes sense to me. What is bad news though with Kaizer Chiefs right now not signing him this season is that if he goes on and has another good season this upcoming season, is that what's going to happen? I said a lot of seasons there. He's going to be way too expensive because now he will be PSL proven and he will be 23, and you add Uguti Mngane and you add the fact that he has scored goals and we are coming potential, then the price will skyrocket. Add to that the fact that next season is Sundowns, probably if Ushalulile has another good season, Ushalulile might leave Sundowns, I'm just saying. And the Pirates, with these strikers that are always changing, they will probably be in the market for another striker. So then the Chiefs will be left stranded because they will have to find umuntu abazomthenga, but with the competition from these other two teams, it's gonna be a bit dangerous. So to me, if they wanted Cupido, the best time to buy him would probably be now. But then again, there's a risk Yoguti he hasn't played at the highest level, so maybe there's also that risk Yoguti take that player who hasn't played in the PSL and you bring him and you sign him for yourself. The other player that I want us to talk about, please do subscribe to the channel. By the way, 65% of you are not subscribed. Now, the other player is Benson Omala. Benson Omala is another person who was linked to the Pirates. Ama links akhe namanje because there were talks so good, it's close, it's happening, but still it hasn't happened, which confuses me because I thought at some point the guy had 25 goals in 33 games. I'm like, yeah, we are converter. Where does he play? Udlale Kenya. How old is he? He's still 21 years old and he can still come into Chiefs. But once again, you look at that signing, Uguti, if the Chiefs went out and signed him, you are risking a foreign spot on a player who's still not PSL proven, because we've done that with Caleb and it hasn't quite worked. And with Usaile, people are arguing. Me, I think Usaile can still do Chiefs a lot of good, even as a reserve, come in and try to change the game. Caleb Ngosam, I don't know. I hope he does well because he's staying at Kaizer Chiefs, so I'm not gonna wish him to not do well. But the other thing, if you bring in another 21-year-old who hasn't played in the DStv Premiership, then you are just risking things. So I kind of get why this thing has not materialized yet. I am freezing. I told them not to come out, but they are here because they would like to watch me record for some reason. Abashanabam, they're behind the camera. Anyways, let's continue with Indabaga. Ufistin Maida, let's just put him on the side because we had to go see his 10 million is going to be expensive. Funny enough, though, Chiefs went out and signed Uranga Chibabiro for 5 million because we're told they signed him for 5 million, which means they could have doubled that and gotten a striker who's also proven in the Continental Championship. But then again, people will say, but it's not PSL proven. So you can't say, let's go for a player who's doubled the money and a year younger and then hope Uguti, everything will just be okay. I kind of get why Chiefs went for Ranga over who's this guy? Umayele, because Umayele, as much as he seems more prolific than Chibabiro, but still there's also the Tugutu, you are doubling the price while you can get the same player for half the not the same player, but you can get a striker for half the price who was competing at the same level with the other one. They even played in the, I think it was the semi-final. Ianga played in Marumo Galants. Yes, people will say, oh, but Fiston Maele came out on top because he won. But if you look at the strikers that Kaizer Chiefs already has right now, you have Dupree is a winger. We have Osaele, he's also speedy. You have Abomo Digma winger, Senkulma ma winger, imagine ma forward. All of our wingers are already speedy and fast. You look at Fiston Maele, he's also that kind of a player who go too quick and he can capitalize if there's space behind. But Turanga is that kind of a striker also that is big and Uyagwazuguma epoxing and can finish off the goals. So it's kind of different, and in that way, he's kind of different to the strikers that we already have. So I kind of get that calculation. Hey, niyazi ngikhuluma kahle kanjani ngeChiefs. Zobeza sebethi, hey, khona omunye ngambonetha you the new junior kanye ngathi hey bakithi ngingakufanisi nje nomuntu ohleze egxeka iChiefs, but it's fine. Let me move on and talk about who's this guy? Thabo Cele. Thabo Cele is currently playing with COSAFA Cup right now. And people have come out and said, oh, why is Chiefs not wanting to sign Thabo Cele? But the Chiefs did want to sign Thabo Cele, right? Even last season, that happened. But then he ended up moving again to Poland. But the question is, why is Chiefs not doing this? One, he has a contract abroad, and bringing a player back will be just hard because one, in the salary, two, how much money you will have to put out to buy that player back. But also he himself has said it 3 days ago when they were asking him, what would you do if you had an opportunity to come back to South Africa? And he said, nah, I don't want to come back to South Africa. What I want to do is to climb the ladder, go further up, higher and higher. And I feel like some of us think, I don't want to say backward, but I think we think players are not ambitious enough, because there is a player here who's currently playing in Europe. And when I was saying he must move from here to here, because yes, Kaizer Chiefs is very big in South Africa. Kaizer Chiefs is very big in Africa. Yabo. But when you are now comparing Kaizer Chiefs, playing for Kaizer Chiefs in South Africa compared to playing in a team that could potentially play in the Europa League, then play in the Champions League, or in your performances you can be scouted and you end up playing in the Premier League, why would you leave that and come to Kaizer Chiefs, as big as they are in Africa? But if you're comparing us to how big European football is, then I can see why a player would once again want to stay abroad. And I wouldn't blame him. In fact, I would like him to stay abroad because I want players who are in our national team to stay abroad and make South African football better, because now if there are more people who are abroad, then more players who are playing in the PSL will have ambitions to go and play abroad. Because right now what you're having is people just wishing, Guti, oh, my ceiling is Mamelodi Sundowns, or my ceiling is Orlando Pirates, or my ceiling is Kaizer Chiefs. That's too limiting. I think our players should always be dreaming to go bigger and get better. That is why I have a problem with a player who's going to sit on a bench the entire season, though they are not being given an opportunity. But since he's at Kaizer Chiefs, uzohlala. That's lack of ambition. Abadlala bayego mabefuna ukuya phesheya baye phesheya. Those are my thoughts. What do you think about all of these things? Let me know down on the comment section below. Thank you so much for watching. And until next time, remember, ikos alphela umoya.